My life not meaningful to you because I don't have children? Hey you, my name is Jenny and I'm a licensed psychotherapist. Today we're talking all about Roku's solo traveling with Tracee Ellis Ross and why it's so important to have a friend like her in your life. So if you're interested, keep on watching. As always, if you have not watched this before, please be advised and be aware that there will be spoilers. I don't know about you all that have seen this already, but I was so excited for it. I love traveling. I love Tracee Ellis Ross. I love seeing her in her beautiful outfits. So I was super excited to watch this. And just so you know that this analysis is well thought out, I watched this thing 2 times. So this series is all about Tracee Ellis Ross, a 52-year-old woman who is single and childless. In this video, I'm breaking down all the themes I observed, and keep on watching so you can see my theory on why I think this type of friend is so important and beneficial to have. And I do believe this type of friend could transform or change your life in a great way. So let's begin with the themes. I noticed the themes of caring for yourself, a different way to live alone while also being in community. And y'all know I love community. And lastly, experiencing life on your own terms. So let's start with caring for yourself. As the show opens, Tracee can be seen packing her things, looking through her clothes, and being very gentle and caring with her clothes and her personal items. She then hops on the plane where she wipes down the seat. She does her skincare. She puts on her comfy pajamas. I mean, this woman is giving you a life lesson on being gentle with yourself, caring for yourself, and doing the little things and the little routine that make life beautiful. She also talks about the importance of wearing your clothes. And I so agree with her, because sometimes when I get new clothes and I get new things, I want to wait till later to wear them. I want to wait for an occasion to wear them. But no, she wears her new clothes right away. She wears her new things right away. And to me, that's a great lesson on living in the present moment. Throughout the episodes, she can be seen talking about her food allergies, why she doesn't drink certain things. And this is because she's aware that those things don't make her feel the best. And it's not like she'll never have them. She'll have them, but in moderation, because she's in tune and has listened to her body and has felt her body. So she's like, okay, if I eat this gluten, I know it's going to do this to my stomach. I know I'm gonna like not feel good for the rest of the night. So sometimes if I do it, I know that it's going to happen, versus just eating and like, oh, I feel bad, but you don't really notice it. She's very caring and she's very in tune with her own body, and this all leans into the caring for yourself. She even talked about changing rooms one time when she felt like the room she was in was not speaking to her. And listen, this is stuff that really rich people can do. I wouldn't be able to do that if I don't like a hotel room. Maybe I could spray a spray or something. I don't know. But again, she is listening to herself. She is in tune with her body and her emotions and her feelings. And also, the way my little therapist brain thought about that scene is that she is showing you that you can pivot when you need to. If something's not sitting right with you, if you're not feeling like something's right, then you can always change directions. You could do something different, and that's okay. It's not going to be easy. She had to pack up all her clothes to move across to the new room, but then she also was able to pivot and change. When things that are happening in life for us are not great, we're not having a good time, it's important that we know we can change the course of our life. Of course, it's not going to be easy. There's always going to be obstacles and everything, but it's also, do I want a different way to live? Do I want to experience something different? So let me try something different. Let me know what you all think in the comments about that. To wrap up this first theme, I felt like it was all about caring for yourself, caring for your mental health, and having the courage to change and pivot when your life needs it. Okay, so let's go to the next theme. A different way to live alone, but also in community. As I mentioned before, Tracee is 52, she is single, and she doesn't have any children. And one thing I appreciated that she did throughout the series is she talked about grieving a life with children, grieving a life with a partner, grieving a different way to live. No matter which path we choose in life, I do think that there is sometime a little part of us that grieve a different way that we could have been living versus the life that we chose. There's always going to be that little twinge like, oh, what if? What if I chose this instead of that? There's always going to be that. But it's important that we acknowledge that feeling, But also it's important to live in our present moment. And I talk about the present moment like, what is something that you enjoy doing for your own leisure? What is something that you enjoy doing with your family? What is a way that you can be in community with people? What is a way that you want to help other people? Volunteer, be kind to your neighbors, things like that. Like, what is a way that you want to live in your present moment? Because like I said, things can be implemented into your present moment that you want to change. She also talks about feeling lonely, thinking about what life could have been with a certain someone, and also feeling unlovable. I mean, she was really raw. That was vulnerable to talk to a camera. Yes, she's solo traveling, but she also has a crew there with her. So she's being extremely vulnerable and opening herself up to share with us, to say, oh, wow, someone you think may have a perfect life, maybe they don't, She thoroughly discusses the pros and the cons of the life she's chosen for herself.
I'm responsible for my own happiness.
She talks about wanting to be known as the person who took their life into their own hands, living and exploring herself. That's pretty powerful. She also talks about experiencing life in her own way, on her own terms, and being okay with making mistakes along the way. And I think this is so important because no matter what decisions we make, we're not perfect. We're always going to question. We're going to always have doubts, but we have to be okay with making the mistakes. We have to be okay with accepting how we feel. Because as humans, we have a whole range of emotions and we have to allow ourselves to feel them. It's okay to feel them. During the show, I also saw her eating alone, having the courage to talk to strangers, things like that. I remember when I was younger, I used to kind of force myself to go out to have lunch by myself sometimes. And I did it like maybe a couple times during my lunch break. But I always tried to do that because I think it's important for you to take yourself out to lunch. And if you have done that, let me know in the comments. Have you taken yourself out to lunch? How did you feel while you were doing it? Did you enjoy that? Let me know in the comments. She also discusses canceling plans to stay in and not having to ask someone, oh, do you mind if we stay in? Because that person might be like, no, I want to go out. So that's another benefit of solo traveling. I so appreciated her showing herself, calling her mother, calling her brother when she was sick. She showed us that, yes, she's traveling alone. She doesn't have any children. She lives alone, but she has her community embracing her. Just because you've chosen a life where you're single and childless doesn't mean you have to be alone. We all need that. We all need that community and that togetherness. So I loved to see that. The last theme I noticed was exploring cultures alone, with respect and on your own terms. And don't forget to stick around so I can explain to you why having this type of friendship is essential. Okay, let's get into it. Listen, Tracee went shopping and I resonated with that because there's nothing I love more than shopping, and shopping also in a different country, getting their different fashions, getting their different cloth and things like that that they use. I love that. I think it's so great. It makes your wardrobe unique and it makes it you. And it's also like, oh my God, I remember I got this when I traveled to Aruba or wherever you've gone. Like, it reminds you of positive things. You decorate your house with it. It's very nice and it's very like heartwarming. She also took the time to read while she was on her travels. It wasn't all about, oh, I got to visit all these different places. It was about being intentional. She went into the garden. She read a book. She enjoyed the nice scenery. She smelled different herbs. It was just like a slow pace, but fast pace. It was just like, this is how life can be. This is how you can live. This is how you should live, in community, taking things slow and shopping for cool things. That's what life should be all about, right? She also took the time to notice the different cultures, but making sure that she was respecting the culture before she went to that country, which is super important. When we're going to different countries, it's very important that we're understanding and respecting the culture. She also talked about gratitude. She talked about honoring herself on this trip, honoring herself on all of her trips. She also mentioned the different reasons to travel: to learn, for leisure, to support small local companies. There was also an interview where Tracee talked about a woman saying that her life now had meaning now that she had children. And Tracee mentioned how that made her feel. Like, and Tracee was like, well, wasn't your life meaningful before you had children? I felt like that was Tracee saying, well, is my life not meaningful to you because I don't have children? I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. During her time in Mexico, she really had to go with the flow. She expected the weather to be bright and sunny, but what she went into was rain. Then with the pivoting in life, doing different things. Like, if you're expecting the rain and you have your bikinis and you're ready for fun in the sun, but you're like, oh my God, like, it's raining every day. What should I do? I'm so upset. I'm frustrated. It's normal to have those emotions, but now that if you experience them, you allow yourself to feel them. What can you do now? It's also a lesson on adapting to different things, adapting to change that happen in your life. And watching the episode, she seemed to really enjoy herself. She went to her tennis lesson, she screamed, she was just like really vibrant in herself. And I mentioned her screaming and being very joyful because I feel like sometimes some people would scream if they felt like it was okay, if they felt safe to do so. They would totally scream when they're excited about something, but they kind of hold it in. And that goes for anything with crying. Some people don't cry, they hold it in. Some people don't scream, they hold it in. Some people want to squeal, they hold it in. Some people want to jump up and down and jump for joy, but they hold it in because maybe that's what they've been taught or what they've seen. But I really appreciated how she was so open with herself and so lively in her clothes too. Now that we talked about the themes that I noticed, let's talk about why this type of friend is essential. This is the fun and adventurous friend. This is the friend that may be low maintenance. You don't have to talk to them every day, but when you reconnect with them, it's beautiful. This friend also tends to get you out of your comfort zone. They show you that there are different ways you can be and you can have multiple sides to yourself. They show you a different way that you can live. And that type of friend is always down for an adventure. Tracee is also very important because she shows the young women and young people there's a different way they can live their life. You don't really need to follow a certain and expected path to be happy. Matter of fact, there's no path that's going to guarantee 100% happiness. That's also something that she's showing us. Married life, unmarried life, life with children, life without children. There's always going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be happy days and there's going to be sad days. That's what living is. We can never predict what a day will bring. We could try to plan as much as we want to. And trust me, I'm a planner. I love my planner. But I also understand that things can happen in my day that I may have not planned for. But I understand that I'm like, okay, I see what's happening. Let me either ground myself if I need to. Let me take a moment. Let me pause. Let me call a friend to rant if I need to. Whatever it is. Life is beautiful, but life has ups and downs, and that's what it is. She showed a full range of emotions. Happiness, disappointment, glee, sadness. She was also sick. I don't know if you can count that as an emotion, but that's a downwards trending kind of thing. She also talked about closing the night with journaling. And if y'all have been watching this YouTube for a while, then you know that's my love language, journaling. So she talked about writing down her thoughts, closing down for the day, what she learned, what she experienced, what she enjoyed, how she felt. I really thought that was beautiful. This show really reminded me of Queen Latifah's Last Holiday. That movie, after she finds out that she has a few weeks to live after she was diagnosed with a brain cancer or something like that. She goes on a trip, she spends a lot of money, she meets new people, and she's having a great time. And that makes me think, why not live that way every day? Not the spending all your money thing, but why not incorporate those small things that you enjoy doing? You know, and I feel like that's what Tracee's show does. She shows that, hey, you can live this way or that way, or you can choose to incorporate little parts of the way she's living into your life. And that's why I talk about she's a great friend to have. She's adventurous. You may be married and have children and all those things at home. That's okay. But can you take a moment to take a small vacation? Even if you do something that's local, but that's just for you. Can you take moments out of your time, out of your life to live, to do things that you want to do? What do you think? And of course, she emphasized traveling. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I love traveling and I think it's important to do so. Of course, like I mentioned before, respectfully and ethically. It's important to travel and learn about different cultures and support the small local businesses that are around. And I think this is a great thing to do. You get to learn different people, meet people, and be in community with people from different countries. It's so important to do that. And if you're this type of friend, thank you. We need you. You're loved and you're appreciated. In conclusion, this video talked about the different themes found in Roku's Solo Traveling with Tracee Ellis Ross and why we all need a friend like her. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what other movies you think I should review. I really enjoy doing these. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. As always, if you're interested, please do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. This really helps me out. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Okay, bye now.